Hello everyone, this is Chris Jamel from Exiton Interactive, and in this video we are going to focus on making our application here look more like an app, by which I mean that we are going to create an app bar component which we are going to position at the top of our app, for each page. We'll have a main navigation, which is the buttons at the bottom of our application, and then we'll have it set up so that the main content area, our router outlet, will scroll there so that we can always keep the app bar and the navigation on screen at all times. Those are things that we're going to focus on in this video. Alright, so let's go ahead and begin here. So the first thing that I want to do is add some fonts to our application here. And the fonts that we're going to use are coming from Font Awesome. And because I can't think of a better place to put them, I've created this features folder here. So I'm going to create a file inside there. I'll just call it font-awesome.ts. And so we have to import a few things to make everything work. So first off, we will bring in Vue itself, and then we need a couple of things. So import from Fort Awesome. Well, while I'm thinking of it, you can check out, basically you'll see which packages we're using, but you can see the version numbers of the packages in the article. And so we need something from SVG core, and that's library. Let's just keep it in the same order I have on the notes here. We'll also import from, and this is a Fort Awesome Vue Fort Awesome, and that thing has a Font Awesome icon in it. All right, and I think that's as far as the packages go. Now we want to import only the icons that we want to use and not the whole thing. So we're going to import Fort Awesome using the solid ones. And which ones? Let's import a few to start with. So angle left, cog, home, and wallet. So now we have imported some icons there. So our next step is then add them to our library. So we have a library.add, and then all we have to do is add the ones that we're importing that we want to use. Cog, library.add, and home, and last one, library.add, and wallet, please, wallet. And so that adds all of the icons to our library. Then to get things to work, we're going to have a component that says which icon that we want to use. And so we just register our component, which came from our import up there. We're going to use font. I think you can actually just, here I am, deviating things. Font Awesome icon. I thought maybe. So Font Awesome icon. So that's the name that we'll use when we want to use this component. We'll use this as the tag. Let's go ahead and save that. Now, in order to use this within our application, all we have to do is return to our main .ts file and just put import, and then we just want to pull in features/font awesome. So that will make it so that we can use those icons wherever we want. So the first place that we're going to use them is in what I'm calling the app bar. And so we'll come into our components folder here, and it's only going to be one app bar in our app. So it's the app bar.view. And so we need a little bit of a template to start with here. And I'll start with a div app-bar. Inside of there, we'll put a button. I need a class to do some changing here. And we said we were going to use this font awesome icon. And so this will be, we need to tell which icon it is, and that's going to be angle left. And then we're also going to say, for this one, we need a little larger in size, just for stylistic reasons. So we're going to put that, it's going to sort of be our back button. And then we'll need title, folio balancer, so just a string there. And we'll put a button over here, and this is sort of like the settings. So font awesome icon equals cog. And missing my self-closing tag up here. So we have a template now. And we need a class. I don't even know why. Huh, must be my own one. So, and I called it the bar. For now, we'll just be a empty class. And let's do a little bit of styling here. So we'll do some more sass. So inside of here, I'm going to import. Again, I've mentioned it before, and also in a different video. You can use this library, Bourbon. If not, if you don't want to, don't do it. It's just simply going to help a helper function for us here in a second. So on our app bar, we're going to do display flex and dot angle left dot cog. We're going to say flex 0, and we're going to change the padding on them. So include padding, and I'm going to make it 0.75 rem and 1 rem. Perfect. And the last thing that we're going to do is to modify our title a little bit. Title flex 1 display flex. Oops. Align dash items. So the vertical alignment will be centered. Let's make it a little bit heavier in font weight. Weight 600. Slightly larger in font size. And last but not least, include padding here. Null. Save that. So we have a sort of working a little bit of our app bar here. So let's add it to the application. To do that, we return to our app.view file. And we want it to live at the top here. So we're just going to say app bar self-closing. Let's import it. And the app bar.view. Default import app bar. App bar for our components. We'll save that. And we should have our app bar up there. Would I do something about, normally wouldn't be so zoomed in here. Do I want to deal with that being, yeah, we'll leave it alone. Think about text wrapping on it. That works. So we have our app bar up there. Of course, it doesn't do anything. We're just doing the whole sort of template setup things. So the next thing that we're going to turn to is dealing with some navigation. So right now we just have the navigation links that came with our application for home and about. So we can close the app.view app bar for now. And then what we're going to do is I've already created a folder. I've got a main-nav folder. Inside of there, we're going to create a new file, and we'll start with main-nav button.view. And as usual, we need a template to start with. We'll say button. So v-on, and we'll say click dot prevent, and that's just going to be click. So we have a button. Let's give it an icon. So font, awesome icon, and we'll vbind this time. Icon to be equal to something we'll specify here in a second in our class, and we'll have a label. Also, spitting out label. So we have our class, and this is the main nav button. Beautiful. So we want to be able to specify what the icon and labels are. So we're going to do prop here. While we're up here, we're going to need inject as well. So I want this to be a main navigation. So we've already created the infrastructure for doing that. So /components /routing. We can bring in routes and routing service. And perfect. So now let's just inject our private read-only routing service, which is of type routing service. So that's being injected already. We've taken care of that, and we'll say prop. So let the user pass in the prop. We'll have a label, and the label here, might as well just for the moment set a default and say undefined. It'll pop out undefined for us. And not sure why I didn't do it for these, but they should be private anyway. Label will be set for us. String. You can get away with read-only too, right? So let's do read-only. So we have our icon, we have our label, and we're also going to need to know the route. So private read-only route, and that's of type routes. Perfect. The only thing that we need to make this thing, work is our click handler now. Now all that's going to do is this dot routing service dot navigate to, and where are we going? This dot route. Perfect. And since we're designing this thing, let's just go ahead and throw a little bit of styling on here. And again, we're just going to do some importing. And dot main nav button. I feel like I didn't add classes to my notes here, and not sure what I expect to happen if I don't have them on there. No. This is dot main nav button. And I guess I called this thing button icon, and we have, of course, dot button label. So let's tell myself to fix this at some point. It'll be okay. Let's do some remembering. Scroll back to where I was here. All right, main nav button. So let's add some padding to it. One rem dot button icon. We're going to do margin bottom 0.25 rem, and dot button label. We'll do margin bottom 0. Save that. Of course, nothing's going to happen at the moment here, but we do have a navigation button here. So what we're going to do now is to go back to our main nav folder and create capital V main nav.view. So this will be a thing that holds our buttons. Let's start with our template. So in this case, we have a nav.main-nav, and we're going to let's do the class first. And let's see what we have. Just the main nav. Stop it. All right, so we're going to need those buttons. So import from /components /main nav / what did I call them? Main nav button dot view. And what the main nav button, tell our main nav about them. Components main nav button, comma. All right, and one thing we're also going to need, import from /components /routing and routes. And all we need to do then is to say private read only. We need to know the about routes, so that's about, and private read only home. All right, now back to that main nav. So we need a main nav button. To this one, we're going to say v-bind the icon we are going to use for it. Home v-bind the label be equal to capital home in this case, and v-bind last thing route, and that's going to be home. Right. We're going to steal that. Just come down here, and we need one for about, and about. Right? No. It's what you get for copying things. There's no about icon. The icon in this case, we're going to use the wallet icon. Is the reason why I picked it for later. I don't have an icon that I'm going to use. We're going to move this about to a different place eventually. And I didn't want to just import an icon and forget to remove it if I wasn't going to use it. So we'll temporarily lose the wallet icon there. So let's go ahead and save that. And of course, what we need to do then is to return to our app.view file here. And this, go ahead, I guess we'll put it right here. So import from @/components/ main nav / the main nav.view. Main nav is all I called it. Let's register it. Now we're free to use it. We can get rid of all of that and just say main nav. Actually, I was going to might as well move it close to where it's going to be, which is we're going to park it at the bottom. So it's right now at the bottom there, but I don't want it to be involved in any scrolling. I want it to be in view at all times, and we'll just have the main content scroll. So let's do some styling here. So we're back down in our app here. First off, before I forget, remove this text align center, and on the app what we'll do is to say display, and we'll use grid for this, and then we have the grid template rows, and those are going to be, so we have the top, which is the app bar. Then we have the main content area. Craziness, we'll have to use the min max thing to make this thing work. And then the main nav will be auto again, because I like to, you don't have to, but I like to name them so I know which one I'm talking about. So we'll have app-bar and app.router outlet and app-main-nav, which means while I'm thinking about it, I was supposed to add classes to all of these things. So app bar app router outlet app, and then main nav. Being a little more careful with the naming for the classes, just because the app styling is not scoped. And I think then what we want, we don't need the nav anymore, it's gone. And app dash bar. So all we need here, let's just say grid area, and that's going to be app bar. Perfect. App router outlets. Stop helping me. And grid area app dash router outlets. Last one, app dash main dash nav. And grid area, and that's app dash main dash nav. Save it. Okay, not what I was in. It's a great thing that we have here, which basically just means usually that I've mistyped something. Since copying and pasting everything was going to work, auto min max 0 on FR auto router outlet at main nav. Did forget that I want overflow auto here. It's not going to fix our problem currently. Bar router outlet main nav. So let's do this. I know code is working here. That just means indenting's not right. So we know that our problem was in there. So purely out of curiosity then, everybody probably sees it but me. Display grid auto. Auto. Oh, there it is. Okay. So there's no such thing as a grid. Let's fix the indenting. Save that. And we have what we're intending. Except I apparently skipped something because I should have centered those buttons. So main nav. I think I did skip the styling. Yep, skip the styling altogether. So back to our main nav. Let's add some sass and dot main dash nav. That display flex and justify content center. And dot main nav. There we go. All right. So what we'll do to make sure we're just a little cleanup here in the end. So let's go to the views. We'll adjust both of them. So in the about and main. So let's start with, I guess, home. And home, let's just remove that button. We'll leave the hello world. We no longer are performing routing through it. So we can basically just empty out the class there. Do basically the same thing to about. Let's remove our test navigation button, which means we can get rid of that and empty the class out. Actually, what I'm thinking about, I was going to add a little bit of styling to the home. We can see that it's working the way that we intend now because I'm zoomed in right now. And just to be sure, inside of here we'll just say .home, and we'll artificially increase the size of the home. And we'll just say height is 2000 pixels. Just to make sure everything's working, saving. I'm going to disable that splash screen here eventually. The point of that is just to see that our main content will we'll scroll, and we have our routing, the main nav at the bottom, and we have our app bar at the top. So we're, of course, in this video, we're just focusing on the structure of everything. We're going to deal with styling and whatnot. I think the next video will just focus on the app bar. Might take us a couple of times just to get all of the functionality working as well as the styling, but we'll see that at least starting in the next video. Until then, I will talk to you later. Thank you for taking the time to watch our video. I know that your time is valuable. If you liked the video, please subscribe to our channel and click the thumbs up button, as well as share the video with your friends. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please leave them in the comments section below. And once again, thank you, and I will talk to you in the next video.